Welcome to Your Bookkeeping Matters. I'm Lisa Turner, bringing you short and snackable weekly episodes on bookkeeping and business matters in an easy to understand way so you can be in control and confident that you know your bookkeeping matters. Let's dive into this week's episode. Hello, and thanks for joining me for this week's short and snackable episode of Your Bookkeeping Matters. Today, I'm jumping straight into cybersecurity, a topic seemingly boring, and you usually bury your head in the sand when things pop up around this topic. But trust me, it's anything but. Cybercrime is on the rise and it's evolving faster than ever. Ignoring it is not an option because the potential impact on you, both personally and in your business, is downright scary. Now, you might be wondering, why is this a topic for a bookkeeping and business matters podcast? Well, as bookkeepers, we deal with finances and sensitive information on the daily, whether it's your personal data or your business's financial records. It is essential to protect it. Let me start with a quick story. A small business owner received a very convincing and threatening email to pay their overdue debt to the ATO with bank details provided in the email. They, the business owner, unfortunately didn't know or think to double check the bank details against their own ATO documents, which already had the bank details on them, or with their tax agent. They also didn't have a trusty bookkeeper at the time to check with either. So with the stress of these extremely nasty threats in the email and not entirely sure what to do, they swiftly paid the rather large amount to what they thought was the ATO bank account and thought all was well. Until the real ATO gave them a call a few weeks later, chasing the overdue amount. Long story short, after loads of stress, anxiety, and sleepless nights, the business owner had to take out a personal loan to pay the funds again, and they never saw the first payment they made to the fake bank account again. They also couldn't claim the first payment on anything. No business expense, no tax deduction. It was literally a huge personal loss. A very stressful, costly, and emotional situation I hope you never find yourself in. So if you feel like this could have been you, you'll be leaning in very closely for this episode. Or if you think, nah, I wouldn't have paid, I would have checked, you'll be surprised how legit these emails and texts are looking now and the multiple of other security essentials you need to be across. So stay with me. I recently had the opportunity to attend XeroCon, a major conference in the world of accounting and bookkeeping. One of the sessions which stood out to me was about cybersecurity. It was presented by Mark, the General Manager of Security Assurance at Xero. And what's incredible is he managed to make a topic as dry and scary as cybersecurity not only informative, but easy to listen to and learn from. This important session shed light on the latest trends in cybercrime and the tactics these criminals are using. So I thought, why not share this invaluable information with you? Today, I'm going to take a peek at some of the types of cybercrimes you should be aware of, from malware to phishing scams, and some quick actionable strategies to help safeguard your business. Let's take a look at these types of cybercrimes, which are very prevalent right now. The Australian Task Force has identified some common cybercrimes, and understanding how these criminals exploit their victims, like you, is the first step in minimising your risk and protecting yourself. As I've touched on, these scams aren't always easy to spot. First, let's talk about malware. Malware is malicious software designed to infiltrate all the corners of your digital world. It can monitor your online activities, gain remote access to your devices, and steal your personal information. It's an unwanted digital spy lurking around. Next up, is ransomware. It's a dangerous breed of malware, encrypting or locking up your files, making them totally inaccessible to you. Then cyber criminals demand a ransom after they have put in this ransomware or malware. Often in the form of cryptocurrency, they demand the ransom in exchange for the key to unlock your files. Small businesses are increasingly becoming targets of these ransomware scams using malware, and the consequences can be devastating. Then there are phishing and social engineering scams. These involve deceptive emails or messages containing links to fake websites. You might receive an email which seems so legitimate, asking you to log in or enter your confidential details. However, the goal here for them is to compromise or get hold of your accounts and passwords. Cybercriminals can use this method to then gain access or control of your social media accounts and hold them hostage. The game these cybercriminals play is getting trickier by the day. For instance, they often send fake emails mimicking entities or businesses you already use and trust. Think Netflix or Australia Post and use those to trick you with enticing offers or urgent requests. These emails usually contain malicious or dangerous links or attachments, trying to either steal your personal information or infect your devices with viruses and malware. So even if an email appears to be from a well-known source, it could be a very elaborate disguise. Being vigilant is key to protecting yourself from falling victim to these sophisticated phishing scams. The important thing to remember here is no one person or business is immune to cybercrime, and assuming it won't happen to you is a mistake you can't afford to make. Cybercriminals are out there and they're working hard, upping their game every day to catch you off guard. If you're in Australia, I'm sure you've heard of the ransomware attacks on Optus and Medibank and how catastrophic this was for not only them, but all of their suppliers, clients, and customers. So you might be wondering, what can I do to protect myself and my businesses from these threats? Let me share some practical steps and strategies you can look into and use. First up, you should do a cybercrime risk assessment. The Australian government provides an online tool to help you identify and patch up any vulnerabilities. Speaking of vulnerabilities, your passwords are your frontline defense. No more of those easily guessable passwords, please, like password 123. They are a hacker's dream. Instead, think about using a password generator to create super strong and unique codes. Failing that, these small changes to your password can make a huge difference. 1. Don't start with a capital letter. Have them randomly through your password. And don't finish with a 1. You would be surprised how many passwords end in 1. And remember, be mindful of what personal details you share on social media. Cybercriminals are digital detectives and they're looking for any clue to crack your security. Your anniversary, your pet's name, your kids' birthdays, all those kind of things. Try and lock your profiles where possible for your personal profiles and really be vigilant on what you share. Hopefully, you've heard of MFA or multi-factor authentication. It's an added or different layer of security. It means you either don't need a password or it's in addition to your password. It's a code sent to your phone or generated on your phone or a code sent to your email. And sometimes it can sound or feel like a hassle using this MFA, but the extra step is worth it because think about it. We're not only talking about your photos or videos on social media. We're talking about your sensitive financial and personal information. So don't be shy here. Use MFA for your website, social media, banking, email, even your trusty accounting software. Here in Australia, it's actually a requirement by government. Accounting software like Xero has MFA, making sure only the right people get access. The next essential step for you to look at is something crucial to be aware of: shared logins. You know, all those passwords you've been sharing with the team or your external contractors. While initially helpful with your internal processes, this is extremely risky business. You're basically leaving the front door wide open, an invitation for trouble. What's the simple solution? Create unique logins for each team member. Even if it means bumping your software subscription up a level, wouldn't you rather pay a small extra team member access fee as opposed to huge potential issues? Also, this way, if something does go haywire, you can more easily track what's happened. Something to keep in mind, it's not only about security. Often, it's also the law or a legal condition. There is a thing called notifiable data breaches scheme here in Australia, meaning if there's a breach and you're not following the rules, you've also got some splaining to do. If you read the fine print on your internet banking, most have something along the lines: if you've ever shared your internet or login password even once, one day down the track, and someone hacks your account or fraudulently uses it, bad luck, you're not covered by their fraud insurance or yours. I'm not trying to scare you, but knowing your obligations and putting simple things in place and small changes to protect yourself is all about being safe, responsible, and prepared. Now, to wrap this up, one last thing to share with you: the Small Business Cyber Security Guide for my Australian listeners, although I'm sure it will be helpful in any country. This guide is packed with resources and support to keep your small business safe and sound. You can jump over to cyber.gov.au to check it all out, because cyber threats are real and they're not going away. By taking proactive steps to enhance your cybersecurity, you're already way ahead of the game. Stay informed, stay vigilant, particularly when it comes to those very real-looking emails and texts. To sum it all up, we've covered some of the main types of cybercrimes out there and some steps you can take to protect yourself and your business. By no means have we been through everything in today's short and snackable episode, because cybercrime is huge. So make sure you do your research, assess what you're currently doing, and if you need to, engage the help of an IT security professional. Here's your big call to action today, though. Take this topic seriously. If you didn't take notes of those few easy, actionable steps I mentioned, have another quick listen, jot them down, and make sure you've got them covered off. And as with most things, this one in particular isn't a set and forget, as cybercrime is always evolving. Pop some reminders in your calendar to do regular reviews and check-ins on things which could be affecting your business or the software and systems you use. Thanks for popping me in your ears today. I know you're leaving a little more cyber savvy than when you came in. Don't forget to subscribe or follow on your fave listening platform, and leave a review while you're there, please. It would truly make my day to hear how this show is helping you along with your bookkeeping matters. I'll catch you next week.